The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Friday, the 16th day of September, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamel Hartman. He's Philip Trott and Maya Palacio. We will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest and her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Phil, happy Friday, bro.
Happy Friday, my brother.
Yeah, we made it to the end of another traditional work week, but
It was a traditional work week.
I'm just saying, I mean, you know how they set us up systematically. They made us believe that work ended Friday, but people like you, I'm sure, as a father of a young boy, the work never finishes.
Work never stops, man.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, happy Friday to those who may not have anything to do tomorrow. I doubt that's many. And then, obviously, it's a long weekend, right? It's a long weekend.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes.
Some of you probably upset you can't take that New York trip for the weekend because you found out too late, ain't you? Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Tiffany Paynter and hopefully Dr. Curtis Jackson from Impact Academy. And
Jackson.
What I said?
Curtis Jackson.
Not much critical guy. Timothy Jackson, sorry. This is why you need people with smarter than you in the room, folks, to remind you. But Dr. Timothy Jackson, Tiffany Paynter, we're talking about, impact mentoring and yoga. The daily play is the feud today, so we're going to be Sancho stopped the streak on Wednesday, but we're not going to put too much pressure on Sancho. We're not going to put too much pressure. No. I mean, you could say something if you want. What, you scared?
I'm you know what the thing is, because I'm trying to when it's the feud, I have to try to remind myself what the rules are for each one. So I'm like, okay, feud, it's a survey, who's likely to have to process.
I don't think Sancho's ever got an answer wrong in the feud. I'm just saying. So yeah. But folks,
you just want to be smarter ones.
Yeah. Oh wow. I mean, I was gonna say all of you are smart, but Phil makes a point.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm a very slow processor.
Yeah. Phil makes a point. But folks, we've got an important conversation to have. So I got a text last night, Phil, that yet another Bermudian business is closing down, and it looked like one called Streetwise. Now, forgive my ignorance, I didn't know where it was. It's at the old Dorothy's. I know people have said businesses in Bermuda have been closing for months. We had the Grio, which technically didn't really close this physical location, but it's still online. And then, for years, there's been the threat of companies relocating and so on. Well, there's some positive news on this front because in the RG, the Daily, new hotel owner upbeat over island's tourism future. And that's the owner, Phil Huspard, I'm thinking I pronounce it.
I think so, yeah.
Of the Cambridge beaches. He believes that the island's tourism industry will bounce back to better days. He has hope. And so the question of the morning to the audience, and this is one for you all, seriously. What advice? You're the consumers. You are the main consumers. No matter the industry, right? You're the main consumers. Maybe not reinsurance, but you're the main consumers in a lot of the businesses that are impacted, right? What advice would you give to businesses in Bermuda thinking of closing down or moving? What advice? That's your question for the morning. What advice would you give as a consumer to businesses in Bermuda thinking of closing down or moving? And when we say moving, relocating, right? Now, you may not be a consumer of some of the big companies that may relocate, but you may be an employee. You may know someone who is an employee in those spaces. But what advice would you give them to stick it out and stay in Bermuda and make them believe that better days are ahead? What advice could we give one another?
I want to make sure that I'm gonna put out a special call to business owners that might be listening, because I want you guys to chime in as well. Because for me, when I think about, so one of my answers might be variety, more convenience. Make it easier to get stuff or have stuff that I can't find in Bermuda, or that I would normally go overseas and search for. But I know that the issue with that sometimes, a lot of times actually, is that Bermuda, because our numbers are so small, we don't have the benefit of economies of scale. So it's hard for the businesses to buy this stuff in bulk and get it at a decent price and then get it to us at a decent price. So I know that's sometimes an issue as well. So I would like to hear from the business owners as well, when we get some answers from the audience, to sort of see, like, well, this is what you guys want, but here's the challenges with that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And I think I think their contribution is important to this conversation. And share this conversation, folks. Share it on your social media and your WhatsApp, because this is an extreme community conversation right here. This is a extreme community conversation, and I'm glad that you asked the question, but you kind of answered it in one respect as well, Phil. Like, I know people want to see a variety. I know people want to see a lot of things, but if you understand business, you understand that that's not as easy because of volume. It's not as easy as people may think. Go ahead.
So here's an example. I early this week or last week, I was looking for drone propellers, right? I needed little small propellers for a drone, and there's one place in town that I found, and the place was only open like between 4 and 6 in the afternoon, and I was gonna go there, but I was like, I don't want to make the trip for nothing. So I said, let me check the website. No website, or the website's there, and it's like you can't find anything on the website. You know what I mean? So it just made it difficult. So where did I go? I went where everybody else goes, Amazon. 2 clicks for drone propellers. You know what I mean? So I would have been happy to overpay for these propellers for a local business, but I just didn't make it easy for me to find this stuff. And then you open certain hours. I'm like, all right, cool. I understand it. It's probably a side business. I went, but it just didn't make the whole process wasn't easy. You know what I mean?
You would tell people to make the process easier for the consumer.
Basically, yeah, that's the short answer. Yeah.
Short answer. Make it easy for the consumer. What are your thoughts, folks? What do you believe? Again, we've got businesses shutting down in Bermuda. We've got the new owner of Cambridge Beaches who says, basically, and let me go back to it because I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he believes that better days are ahead for Bermuda tourism. He is optimistic and upbeat over the island's tourism future. Now, in fairness, let's be honest. Regardless of how much money you have, if you're investing in a new business, of course you're going to sound upbeat and speak.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's be real. Like,
that's what I was thinking.
This guy is not, business is not charity. So he's not spending money just to get nothing back. Let's go to the audience, see what the audience thinks. Sean DeShield says, this new Cambridge owner needs to get his head out of his ass because the
Hartman Unfiltered
numbers speak to the contrary. Sam Cat Place says, give us variety, offer point systems for shopping there, and listen to us when we say it would be nice if you had it here because many people would buy it versus having to wait for it when ordering it. Now, let's address both things. Okay. First, Sean DeShields, regarding your comment about the air visitor arrival numbers speak to the contrary. I don't disagree. And that's why I said before we went to the comments that I mean, he's just saying what any business owner probably would say. Does he believe it is the real question?
Yeah, I think he has to say he's not gonna spend money, millions into the hotel and say, Bermuda tourism product. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So he has to say that. He has to say that.
Yeah. And then to Sam Cat Place, I think Phil kind of touched on it earlier. It's like it's tough. It's tough from a retailer. Like, someone said to me earlier this week, I don't understand. I don't get how retailers are able to stay in business. Retail is hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. And that just, Sean DeShield says, my BDA post has become my new best friend for purchasing just about everything these days, as buying Bermuda has significant limitation. But the question is, like, again, folks, audience, this is on you. What advice, like what do you have? Is a lot of you tuned in? What advice would you give to businesses in Bermuda thinking of closing down or moving? We know the issues, but what advice would you give to them? We know the issues that are there. We know that, there's limitations. We know that you feel there's not a variety. We know that they're better. You feel that Amazon's a better option. But what solutions would you give them? What would you say to let's say it's a business that you absolutely love to support, but you're only one person. You're only one person. Let's go back to the comment.
Go ahead.
Godwin and Traveling Trotty for you, Phil.
Rashida Godwin says it'll get better when government gets rid of that TA form and create another tax if they need money. Yeah, I've seen that TA form's been in the newspaper recently too.
That's a solution. Let's be honest. That's
a solution.
I think that's a great solution.
That's more for government, though. That's not for the businesses.
Well, I think what happens is you're right. What advice would you give the businesses, right? But I think with that is that would actually help businesses to
it will help the hotel.
Yeah.
Traveling Trotty says, look at how your businesses can attract and keep consumers more accessible with easy parking, curbside pickup, and variety. For me, the parking rules in Hamilton do not make it easier either. I always go back to how COVID forced the hand of a lot of especially the grocery stores and other businesses to offer that delivery service. You know what I mean? It's not like delivery in Bermuda is expensive anyway, but we're gonna pay for the convenience. You know what I mean? And I think that helped them a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be something that the other businesses think about.
Yeah. And I mean, Phil, I know we had the folks from I think it was Take 4 Restaurant Group on last year. Restaurants were suffering in Bermuda coming out of the pandemic. We know that restaurants, hotels, anything tourist related or hospitality has had a hard time in Bermuda. So we know that different industries have different challenges. Then there's retail, right? It's not easy. It's not easy. And some of these problems will be on some of the owners. Obviously, we have to be smart, strategic. What advice would you give to businesses in Bermuda thinking of closing down or moving? We've got Charles H. Jefferson II. My advice, October is coming. I am going to take that as a reference to a leadership challenge in Bermuda. Sam Cat Play says, but I swear the businesses all go to the same place and buy the same things. Well, I don't know. I don't think BGA, Butterfield and Vallis, and Dunkless have the same things at wholesale, right? But I think for the most part, if the grocery stores, they may have some of the same products. I don't think many of the clothing stores have the same products. They have different, vendors. And
I know the clothing stores take pride in shopping where the competitors shop.
Yeah, absolutely. Sloan Johnson for you, Phil, and then Rashida.
Sloan says, not everyone takes Phil's route by checking locally first. I think a lot of people do. I think that's getting better. I think we are doing better at least checking locally first. I think the issue is that sometimes where do you check? And how do you, like, everybody goes on Instagram, but she also says government can assist by lowering import taxes and fees for local businesses. Businesses can also pivot away from brick and mortar spaces to online platforms.
Yeah, and I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to put it out there if it's not true, but I think that's what Nikisha and Ian told me of the Grio, that they were pivoting towards.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, I I'm got to get some more oils from them. Like
I think
I will say,
I think with some businesses though, I think obviously there's an entrepreneurship, there's a pride in being an entrepreneur, and I think having that physical space may be something that they just want to do.
yeah.
Not to say that I'm not putting the Grio in that category.
Yeah, no, seriously, I get it.
Because they had a great space.
You own something, you definitely want a space. Like,
Right.
again, I know online, if you're still making money, you're making money, but I get what you're saying. It's like something comes along with having a space. Folks, question of the morning is based on some businesses that are closing down in Bermuda, have closed down, announcing that they're closing down. Again, the latest one I was shared with last night was a restaurant called Streetwise, where the old Dorothy's used to be. Our friends at the Grio went online only. And sometimes you got to do what's in the best, of the business, right? Do what's in the best interest of the business. And then we have, on the other hand, the new owner of the Cambridge Beaches, who is upbeat. So we just want your advice. What would you, as Bermudians, as people who are major consumers of these kind of spaces, what advice would you give to businesses in Bermuda thinking of closing down or moving? I'll go through some comments here. Rashida Godwin says, pushing businesses more online and deliver to customers. Sean DeShield says, my advice is to focus on building and sustaining valuable relationships with customers and deliver quality services at affordable prices. I want to touch on that, Phil, real quickly. I want to get your thoughts on it. So I think where a lot of people, especially small businesses, go wrong, Phil, is they think they have to sell to everybody. I don't think like that. Let me use this show.
I don't think like that either. Go ahead.
I'll use this show as an example. With this show, it's not for everybody. When we decided that we were going to do this show, we focused on one group of people, and that was people aged 35 through 55, right? Does that mean we're excluding people outside of that area? No, it doesn't. But our main focus is 35 to 55. Why? And then, obviously, women. Why did we believe that was the group to target and was our niche market? Because we felt like they would be most interested in having the kind of conversations, and they have the most influence in our community. So we thought, right? So that's why we are targeted with this audience. Why do I say that? Folks, one of the things that I was challenged with in a previous employer is that I felt like we were trying to be all things to all people. Mass market, that works for very few people. It works for very few businesses. And so my advice to people is, I'll end it on this. You have the Democrats and you have the Republicans, right? They have two completely different models, or they did, when it came to raising money. The Democrats got a little bit from a lot of people. The Republicans got a lot from a little.
Very few.
So you have to look at business like that. You can't go into business and try to please everyone. You have to have a target. And that's why Sean DeShields, I believe it was him who said it, building and sustaining valuable relationships with customers to deliver quality services or products, that comes with having a targeted niche. And until we understand that, until we get that, everyone has a lot. I feel like social media has made us believe that we have to be all things to all people. Folks, Dr. Ewart Brown said when he was on this show, politics is not about everyone liking or voting for you. All you need is a majority. That could be 51%. In some cases in the US, if there's 10 people voting and you got the most percent, which could have been 30%, and no one else got more than that, it doesn't have to be the majority. So we have to think of these things when we're thinking about business. So back to the question of the morning. Sorry, Phil.
I just want to say, I always when I read about this type of stuff, these guys always say the same thing: niche. You only need 1,000 people to spend $1,000 to make $1 million. You don't need everybody to spend $50.
Yeah, it's tough. Let's go back to the comments. Did we get let's go Traveling Trotty? She says, pair up with other businesses to consolidate the shipping to save money. That's an idea.
That's an idea. I didn't think about that
I'm
one.
say the business owner's name, but a very prominent Black business owner in Bermuda did tell me that they're actually going to do direct shipping to their business and remove the middleman, meaning remove the wholesaler. They thought that was a solution recently. I'm not sure, but I'll have to follow up with that business owner to see how that's working out. Traveling Trotty also says move the taxes from at the border to the registers. At the border or border?
I think she meant border, yeah.
To the register. This will allow businesses more cash flow. Interesting. Sloan Johnson says building owners who outright own their buildings can stop being greedy and lower rents to assist with the building of businesses. Well, that would help the community. So if you've already paid for your building, is there really a reason to charge $3,000 for a building when you can probably charge $1,500? Or work on a scheme where you get part of the profit or something from the person. Like there's ideas there. There are ideas. Sean Smith says marketing, and more marketing to your niche.
Yeah.
What's the final word, Phil?
Niche, man. Niche.
Thank you. Charles Jeff is making fun. Have I aged out? So Charles is obviously going 55. No, as I stated, our target doesn't mean that we're not open to others, my friend. It means that, that's our key target, but that doesn't mean that we are not welcoming others.
And Charles is definitely one of our engaged members, so we always have room for you, mate.
Yeah. Yes, looking 21 at 70.
He does look young though, man.
Yeah, he's got some. Don't blow his head up. No, don't blow.
All right.
All right. So we've got to bring Maya in. We have a conversation that we want to ask Maya as well. What advice would she give? What advice would she give to a business? Now, I like to do this to put Maya under pressure, but truthfully, I really can't think of what she might say, so I can't even say anything today. She's very unpredictable, which I like, Phil. So what I'm
laughing at her message, how she let us know.
Oh, that's her daily message. See, the audience does. Yeah. Let's bring Maya in for the People's Pharmacy Daily Hour Music Break.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Maya Pulaski, and this is the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy.
Well, me. Maya, we've had this conversation this morning. What advice would you give to businesses in Bermuda thinking of closing down or moving? What I mean, you're a consumer. What advice would you give them from that standpoint?
Actually, this piece of advice was given to me recently while I was at work. People don't really know I work at Noah's Ark. I'm the sales manager there. And a customer came up to me because we had put out this new product. And they're like, oh, I'm so glad that you have this because this was just in my order box on Amazon to bring in. Because people have to order way earlier for things that they want on a certain time in Bermuda. So if you're getting a product that's coming in and you don't want to release or let people know in your marketing value, like maybe like a week before, but people probably already have that order in an Amazon box or something, I would say maybe we should think about letting people know like a month before, even if the product isn't yet here, but it's like on its way and it's coming, if it's something that you think people would actually want. So maybe that's a thing. Because I mean, I personally, I don't order online. Like I rarely do. I probably do it maybe twice out of the year. But that's something that I recently found out from a customer that they're ordering things way early on for things that they want at a certain time that we actually are going to bring in. So that was something that I recently learned.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very good. Phil, sorry.
No, I was just gonna ask, because it seems like Noah's Ark is, and I don't want to get into your business or whatever, but like I don't. There's nowhere else I would go to get, because I go there regularly to get the dog food.
Oh, thank you, Phil.
Right? Hey, and this is before I knew you worked there, and so it's like, but I think like pet food is one of those things where like I wouldn't necessarily order it online because it like I need to get it fresh sometimes if it's a refrigerated type of thing.
No, this one was actually in terms of like these greeny dental treats, and we bought in pumpkin spice greeny dental treats for like the fall time, and I put them out earlier than normal because like people waiting for October to put them out, and I put them out early in September, and people were like, "Oh yes, I wanted these, so I was going to order them." So that's what I'm talking about. They literally have created every and anything for pets food. I can tell you that right now. It's way more than just dog food.
They live in like kings. They're queens, these dogs, but and pets. But what I will say, as before we got into the news break, is we can think about advice all we want for businesses. The greatest advice should be going to the consumer. I tell you what, the more you shop online at Amazon, the more the problems for your community become greater. And I'll leave it at that for you to marinate on that. And I'm not saying not to shop how you want, but just understand that shopping at a Noah's Ark or a People's Pharmacy or One Communications or Medicals, that actually is money in your community. Shopping at an Amazon or wherever is money going out of your community. When money goes out and doesn't circulate or come in, well, things like taxes go up. Maya, what you got for us in the news break?
Well, this morning I actually wanted to provide an update. As everyone knows, there was a road collision yesterday, and the biker was actually 17 years old, and he's currently in ICU. And the driver, who I mentioned yesterday, was unharmed, while she was a 57-year-old woman. And police say what appears to have happened was the SUV was exiting Orange Valley Road to head west along Middle Road when the motorcyclist who was traveling east along Middle Road behind a taxi attempted to overtake the taxi. And as a result, the SUV and the motorcyclist collided, and the SUV then struck a wall and went over an embankment.
Oh, no.
Drive carefully, man.
Alien Weekly message. Slow down. Please, folks. And I'm just sending healing energy to that young man and his family, and also the woman, the 57-year-old woman as well. Sending them healing vibes on that side. What else you got for us?
Well, we talked about it yesterday, and almost every single day, I think everyone's mentioned the TA travel authorization form. While OBA shadow minister continues to express their disdain for the travel authorization. You may have read yesterday in the Gazette that 2 cruise ships pulled out of entering Bermuda over COVID regulations, while the OBA shadow minister, Susan Jackson, says 5 confirmed cruise ships cancellations during our lean shorter months of October and November represents millions of uncollected revenue from passenger taxes, tourism fees, transport infrastructure taxes, and million more in passengers and crew spending. She continued to say that unfortunately, WestQuest and Silent Partners continue to earn profit through air and sea travelers, while the public continues to lose millions of dollars that they desperately need in these tough economic times.
Millions.
I don't want to get into politics. I don't want to go the political route. But my only response to this is the industry is speaking to you. If the industry is speaking to you and you're not responding, then they're letting you know they're going to respond, and they are responding. What will we do next? I think what we do next depends on how much we actually care about the economy bouncing back. And when I say we, it's up to the people of Bermuda to keep the pressure up on the decision makers so that whatever happens, what's happening now doesn't continue. And that means more cruise ships pulling back and costing businesses more money.
And like you said, that's more money leaving.
That's more money not coming into the island.
Well, not coming in,
yeah. What else you got for us, Maya?
Well, here's maybe an opportunity to spend some money back into the economy. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Because if you didn't already know, up in St. George's on Sunday will be the St. George's Seafood Festival from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. And as we mentioned yesterday, there's going to be the Taste of Bermuda coming back from September 30th to October 2nd, and you can still grab your tickets for that.
Supposed to be on a diet, man.
Man, look, Seafood Festival, I'm that kind of guy goes to the, in Palm Beach over where I live, you got the Garlic Festival, Jerk Festival, we got all of them, right? I remember years ago, when I was working in tourism, I said, we need to have a chowder festival, different chowders, and obviously Bermuda fish chowder. So I'm happy to see these events. Taste of Bermuda Seafood Festival. I'm excited to see these events.
Go ahead.
My only thing with it, and this is not to pull anybody down because you all think I pick on the Bermuda Tourism Authority. My only thing is, my hope is that these events actually drive interest from people outside the island into Bermuda so that we can actually bring money on the island. That's
there's supposed to be a famous chef coming down. I have forgotten her name. I didn't put in my report, but she's supposed to be coming down as well for the whole weekend of it. So hopefully maybe that'll drive traffic from her audience as well.
All right. Sounds
well,
good.
I think it's good because I congratulate everybody, these guys, Corporation and St. George's for, being creative with these types of events. I think we talked about before about getting money to circulate. Hopefully it'll especially in St. George's, have people more aware of what's available in St. George's to make the track down there to continue to pull money into that community as well. So,
well, just to follow up on that, there is actually going to be an event tonight in St. George's. I know it because I have Kristen White's blog, and there's going to be a reading at her store. I'm quite excited to actually go to that. I'm a big fan of books, and I like her store, so I'm going to be down there this evening. Next, coming up in the news, I'm actually going to close it with some serious news right now. Yesterday, the Bermuda Police Service addressed a mental health emergency in Pembroke Parish. Police negotiations were made at the scene with the persons in question as efforts continue to safely resolve the situation. Now, this incident was made public to the community because police realized that some members were already aware of what was going on and what was happening. So the police was generally pleading that in their statement for people to refrain from recording any images or circulating them on social media, to not do anything and to not share with others, as this was an extremely sensitive matter. Now, shortly after, the police did inform us that the mental health emergency at Pembroke Parish location concluded without an incident, and the individual involved was unharmed and was being medically assessed.
Let me bring my mic up real quickly. I think what we witnessed yesterday is, and Phil, we spoke about it before we came here. We need to have a real conversation about this. What is with us wanting to share someone else's pain? What's in us? Why are we so easily open to sharing other people's pain? I something's not right.
I don't want to get too deep into it either. I think there's two sides to it. Sometimes the recording of an event has been beneficial as far as evidence. I think the sharing part is what I have an issue with.
Correct. And
you know what I mean?
Right there. It's okay if you're recording something that can assist. That's one thing. But we see how it goes, and we've got to do better. So anyway, sorry. We'll talk about that probably next week, folks. We have to take that conversation on.
To wrap it up, I'm just going to tell you guys the weather. It's going to be maybe a little bit of showers early on for today, but most likely it will still be very sunny and a sunny day in the afternoon. And we got a temperature of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So bring your waters, guys. Bring your waters.
All right, Maya Palacio, thank you so much, Maya. And you enjoy your long weekend, all right?
Thank you, Jamal. You enjoy. Well, you vote. Have a great day, guys.
See you later, Maya.
Days of the year for us.
Oh, days of the year. Okay.
Oh, that's me. So today is International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer. It's a mouthful. International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer is important because it is a day that is used for spreading awareness regarding the ozone layer's depletion, as well as the search for solutions in order to preserve it. So people use this day for educating their students about the ozone layer and just overall awareness. You can try to stop consuming gases that are dangerous to the ozone layer because of their manufacturing process or content. And to today's point, another thing you can do to help preserve the ozone layer is to buy local products. By doing this, you not only get fresh products, fresh produce, but you're going to make sure that you do not consume food that has traveled a long distance.
You know, I haven't heard the ozone layer since I was in geography, and
the ozone layer.
I haven't heard the term since that long. It's been that long.
I think it's improving, but I think with all things, we still gotta maintain it.
Indeed. All right, Maya. Again, enjoy that long weekend you were given. All right.
Thank you, guys. Stay sustainable.
Stay sustainable.
Stay sustainable.
Catch you later.
Bye.
You heard her, folks. She's
I
always
like that one, man.
She's always giving you a gem. Stay sustainable. We're going to take a quick break. We're coming back. We've got Tiffany Paynter. We're talking Impact Mentoring Academy and Soham. This is something every last one of us should be on board with. They're doing some good work. And I got some people responding to the comment I made, Karen Simmons, why do people want to share people's pain? And she says, quote, I think hurt people hurt people. Kathy Rogers says, I agree, Jamal, there were some cruel comments made. We all need a gentle reminder to be kind. Look, regardless of how you feel about the persons involved or whatnot, I just want us to be a bit more consciously aware and you know, as she said, kind. Like it's a cruel world out here already. We don't need an exit. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Stick with us. You bet.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. Philip Trout, I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's and Pharmacy. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed on our website, thedailyhour.com, so you don't miss a chance for updates, promotions, prizes, and more. Also, if you're on the go and you can't watch us, that's okay. Download the BCG Radio app, available for both Android and Apple devices, so you can listen to us. And I so often, Phil, do forget about those listening. They can't see us. So let me just go and give you a big shout out to everyone who listens to us every day. We do not forget about you. We do not take you for granted. We are grateful. We know you can't comment, but trust me, some of you, you're the best, because you literally let us know when you can't hear us, or you can only hear me. And I know you don't want to hear just me. You want to hear these other folks, their opinions. So you appreciate it. You're not forgotten. And again, folks, if you're unable to watch because you're driving or something, join in with that crew who are able to listen to us every time we go live. We're going to bring Tiffany Paynter in. We're discussing Impact Academy's relationship with Soham. Good morning, Tiffany. How are you, madam? How are you?
Good morning. Thanks.
Good morning, Tiffany. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm great, actually. Thank you for having me back on. I listen even when I'm not on, so it's good to be on as well.
Oh, we appreciate you. You're look, you're a person of the community, and when I say that, I mean it, because you're doing a lot. Like, you're one of those people you can't put in a box, and I love that about you. I really do. And you've been on to speak about, multiple things, so you are appreciated. And before we get too deep into our conversation today, I would love to ask you, as a consumer, the question of the day: what advice would you give to a Bermudian business who might be considering shutting down or moving? What do you want to add anything to that? Because I'm sure you always have something.
Tell your customers what you're going through. I know I love the Griot. It's one of my favorite stores. I love the Griot open mic nights that they had. And I think the thing is for me, I'm willing to do like a GoFundMe towards keeping you open, or a collective donation towards making it sustainable. Mm-hmm. But I came back home from a trip, and then went to the Griot and someone said it had closed down. And I never knew that was even a possibility or about to happen. So I think businesses that are particularly Bermudian owned, small business, and owned by wonderful people and run by wonderful people like Ian and his family, they can rely on their clients to give more for them to stay open. I mean, I don't know if that was ever an option, but I would have happily helped. And I don't even need shares. You know what I mean? It would have just been a goodwill gesture of like community building.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that is community building. I think I felt extremely bad because obviously not living in Bermuda full time, I'm in and out, but I didn't spend money there until literally the last week that they were open. Mainly because whenever I was there, it was holidays or something. I was there for situations where I was unable to get out. But I am happy with my oils, and I will continue to be purchasing oils from them as well as my books going forward. So I'm going to be honest, even though I have access to Amazon, things that I can purchase from Bermudians, I do.
Yeah.
Let me be clear about that. And so, and the reason I do that, I can't get on this show daily, right? If I could get this equipment we use to do this show from Bermudians, I would. But I can't get on this show daily and actually speak things that I'm not living. But yeah, I agree with you, Tiffany. But let's get into today's conversation. We have you on, and we had you on with a young person. Don't tell me the name. I'm going to remember. A young man some months ago. Zen.
Yes, absolutely. Zen Marley Mello, quite a name, right?
Yeah. See, no, but I'm not feeling Shahrazad's yet. My mind. Yeah, I'm feeling there. But we had this young man on, and if you were not inspired by what Tiffany, her team, and these young people are doing by that conversation, I don't know what will. But since then, you all have decided to basically, partner with Impact Mentoring Academy. Just speak from what you know, Tiffany. What is Impact Mentoring Academy for those who don't know?
So Impact Mentoring Academy is an all-boys school. It's run out of the old Barclay, and they cater to middle school and high school young men. And a lot of their student body hasn't, for one reason or another, been as successful as their parents would have hoped in mainstream school, right? And so Impact offers this like holistic approach to their student body, and they really are paying attention to the whole student. Personal development is a big value of theirs. Brotherhood and leadership, these are the values and pillars that I'm aware of, and what attracted me to even reaching out to Impact. So yeah, I'm not an expert on Impact. I'm Dr. Jackson.
That's something. That helps, because I'm going to be honest with you. If I hadn't looked, online prior to the conversation, I wouldn't have known. And I think that's and in the basics of what it is what we were trying to get. Go ahead, Phil. Sorry.
No, just from being in the education space, I'm familiar with the good things that are coming out of Impact Mentoring Academy. And I used to work. Dr. Jackson was actually my first boss when I was working in education. So I know they're doing good things over there. But Tiffany, so what question? The question I had was why did they think that the yoga program was right for Impact, for the students at Impact? Like, what made you guys a good match?
So Impact's belief is that like each individual student has like a unique destiny or a unique approach and unique story and context behind them. And so when we were looking at, I guess we put our heads together. I saw I knew about Dr. Jackson's like background, and he has a resume like the length of me in education. So when he came on into Impact, I saw that as an opportunity to partner with somebody who I respect and admire, who was bringing new life into Impact, and in particular, it's difficult to get young men involved in things like yoga and mindfulness. But at Impact, they already have different processes in place that they do day to day, like check-ins with the boys, check-outs with them. They have therapy sessions already there. So it seemed like a great fit in terms of this focus on the individual growth and development, focus on individual self-awareness that is already aligned with yogic principles and philosophies. So wanting to come into Impact and bring their young men tools directly just seemed like a perfect fit. And I think Dr. Jackson and I are going to be great. We were talking yesterday, and he's a little reticent talking about his lack of flexibility to get on the mat. But he'll be joining our first few classes with the men just to be experience it himself and really show that he's all in for this program and lead by example with these young men, which is part of the reason why I really did want to partner with Dr. Jackson and Impact.
Yeah.
So it hasn't. I was gonna ask, has it started yet, or is it brand new?
We start the week of, not this week, but next week. Next week, I'm gonna go in and just meet the young men, meet their new cohort. They have some incoming students coming in. I met some of their parents during an open house earlier this year when we were talking to the parents about bringing this into their programming. So yeah, we start in 2 weeks' time, and looking forward to it. This program is actually made possible by the donation of the Hemera Foundation, which is a global foundation that focuses on bringing contemplative practices to young people and adolescents. So there's like just blessings like everywhere, and I'm super excited to be able to bring this to young men because, you know, young men and older men do not think that yoga is for them, if we're completely honest, right? Nope. I mean, what do you have you guys ever taken a yoga class?
Guilty. No, I'm guilty. I've done it once and I'm guilty. I've been people trying to get me to do it for quite a while, and I've been like, at first it was not for me. Then I was just like, I don't think I'm that flexible, but I've actually, I've lightened up to the idea recently. I have.
Well, I'm determined to get you on the mat, Jamal. I don't know if you've seen all of my email invitations. I saw you came home and you didn't come to a class, so
I'm working on it.
Jamal and that Downward Dog, man.
Yeah.
You guys
I went on YouTube, learned that one. Yeah.
I've done yoga before, and I know it's not all about just stretching. I know that, but I definitely could have saved myself a few injuries if I had, taken more care of the preparation before getting involved in athletic events.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got LeBron James, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo. I mean, you can name them. Kevin Love. So yoga has now become a component of their training, of their recovery. I have a yoga for athletes program. We were
too late for me for that, but
yeah, we were set to kick it. And this is again, so the yoga for athletes program is specifically geared towards men, because I know, it's not like they're going to come to the class. So I'm designing programs where I come to them. And that's how this impact mentoring idea sparked. It's like, because I've taught in, we have a Peace Within program that we run out of the prisons, right? And we've been running that for a few years. We've not been able to get back in because of COVID regulations. We hope to get that started. But I know we've got to go to the men. We've got to go to where the men are and where they're kind of like a captive audience already, and offer them this so that they experience it and we kind of get past all the limiting beliefs that they have around it, or the limiting notions of what it is and who it's for. Because it's truly, it literally was created by men for men, and women couldn't even do yoga for hundreds of years.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
For hundreds of years, yeah. And so now, but when it's imported to the West, we have very limiting, constricting beliefs around what masculinity is and what it looks like.
Yeah.
But athletes like LeBron James and Ronaldo are helping to kind of say, like, this is crazy. Like, this is going to help you in multiple ways, your mindset, your body, your spirit. Just it helps on multiple levels. And that's what we want to bring to these young men, is this well-being and ability to have agency over your own well-being and own internal.
Tiffany, I just want to get back to, like, because I want what has the feedback been from the parents since when you announced that you were doing this? What's been the feedback from them?
So the parents are very happy. The feedback we've gotten from other programs, I mean, we've got parents wanting to give more money. They want us to do more time, more yoga. Some parents, the testimonies I've gotten from the surveys from parents that have participated in previous programs have been effusively thankful. I mean, literally, thank yous over and over again for shifting their young people, helping them to be more confident, more self-aware. 100% of our participants have surveyed and agreed that they benefited in some way. Like 82% said they felt less anxious. Like 75% said they felt more calm or peaceful in their body. And, earlier, Jamal, you were talking about, this lack of conscious awareness or lack of kindness that seems to be the commonplace or the norm nowadays. And programs like this yoga, in-school yoga and mindfulness is our effort to kind of plant the seeds for a change or a shift in making compassion and social awareness and also self-awareness the norm. We have to start somewhere, and these are the seeds that we're planting today to have those better tomorrows that we're all talking about and hoping for, right?
Absolutely, man. Okay, so for parents whose children do not attend Impact Mentoring Academy, how can they get their kids started in yoga, and what age also do you recommend? I have a 2-year-old.
So kids as early as 4 can start yoga. It's different, the approach is different depending on the age, of course, right? So the older we get, the more components of yoga we can actually offer. Earlier, Phil, you were saying, that yoga is not just exercise or stretching. And that's true. There are 8 limbs of yoga, right? And what we normally see is this, the postures, the positions, and the movement. But the other 7 limbs are about self-awareness, self-actualization, community building, and just a general sense of like who we are and our responsibility to the whole. And so that is what we're bringing to Impact. And parents that aren't at Impact can get their teens involved in a different program that we're running at the BSOA. So the Bermuda Society of Arts is in the City Hall. And we have a yoga program that we're going to run on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school starting next week. So that's that program's for teens 14 to 18. And that's sponsored by BFNM. And honestly, I really am trying to, the best thing about that program is that it's different from Impact, where we've got students from multiple schools kind of all flooding into town at the same time. And so the thinking was, well, if they're going to be flooding into town at the same time, can we kind of channel them and funnel them into this program? So we've got Cedar Bridge students, BHS students, MSA, Saltus, Barkley, all kind of coming into the yoga and mindfulness setting and learning about themselves, learning about each other. Yeah. That program starts next week, Tuesday.
It's amazing. And I think this comment literally is a great way to wrap up this conversation. Rashida Godwin says, our community needs healing, and this is great. I think the entire time, I'm listening to you, and I think this was a healing a short but healing conversation, and the things that the collaboration, the I guess the expectation and everything around what you're doing. So I think it's appreciated. I think we need to expand these with donations. And when I say donations, I mean it's not just about money, it's about time. It's about offering people space to share the messaging, right? I love it, Tiffany. Honestly, I think, and I don't say this to, blow anyone's head up, but I honestly do appreciate that you're really one of those people who we're not just having conversations, but you're actually doing the work in our community that our community needs. So please know, you need this space. We're gonna provide it for you. So thank you.
Just real quick. I know it's not all about money, but it's money is important, and I want to make sure that people understand. Like if you say you want to see this throughout the island, make sure you get out there and tell people, hey, come support, donate, sponsor.
Yeah.
Find, because Tiffany's one person, she can only do so much.
She is.
You want to see it. You want to see it expand.
She is one person, and that one person has got to go because we've got to go.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much.
My bad.
And we'll definitely be in touch with you. All right.
Thank you for having me, guys. And I love your program. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Jamel.
Alrighty. All right, Tiffany Paynter, folks, if you found that conversation helpful, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share that conversation as well. We want to, as Phil just said, we want to, support it in any way we can, understanding that not everyone can donate financially. There are other ways to do so. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. We're going to actually do a giveaway as well as the Daily Play. So get ready for the giveaway. I'm not going to tell you what the hashtag is this morning, but it is not the Daily Hour. Stick with us.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
I'm part of the SSCP, giving us opportunities to go out and sell, which is what I'm doing today.
One of the most important things I learned in the SSCP is that failure is just a part of being an entrepreneur.
As a vote community, then you can't go anywhere, can you? I just believe it's a really beautiful and amazing experience for everybody.
A lot of late nights being up, trying to finalize things, especially for me.
You don't have to do everything at once. Little steps is the key to success.
They helped me go through every step of the way.
It has helped me gain more confidence, so that's one thing.
I'm Marley Spriggs and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Joshua Allen and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Trey Robinson Richards and I am an entrepreneur. My name is Namira Rayner and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Vincent Darrell and I am an entrepreneur.
I'm Shayla Swan and I'm an entrepreneur.
I am Sophia Paxenhan. I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Zion and I'm a young entrepreneur.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Big Show. Thanks again to Tiffany Paynter for today's conversation. Folks, if you appreciated that conversation, the information shared, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these conversations as well. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medicals, and Lindos. Also, it's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol, and Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout the island. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Phil, are you ready?
Hey, let's get it over with, man.
All right, it's the feud today, folks. He is ready. Easy. Oh, these are easy.
All right.
Name a sign that people disobey.
Stop sign.
Oh, he did let the music start, folks. He did let.
Did I?
No, you
I
did.
jumped it.
You did.
Okay. All right.
Another easy one. This again. I picked 3 randoms, folks. I don't look just to make it fair. All right, here we go. Name something you get into and out of every day.
Trouble. Bed.
All right. It was bed. Bed's number 1. Trouble was not on there, so we know who Phil was when he was young. Final one. He's not giving the audience a chance today. Here we go. Final one.
Show was good. Yeah.
Oh, this one may actually. This one may get you. If you lost your sense of smell, what smell would you miss the most?
Food.
Oh, I thought okay. Was in trouble. I thought so, folks, but you know he showed up. The hashtag,
I'm glad you guys can't. I'm glad you can't see.
Trivia. That's your hashtag for today's giveaway. We're giving away a deck of Bermuda trivia cards. So hashtag Bermuda trivia. Phil, let's wrap it up.
Oh yeah, man. Okay, so daily inspiration for today.
No, wrap it up. Final thoughts on today's.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Final thoughts. Yeah, we all want. I think we want to do better at supporting local businesses. But the businesses I think they just have to make themselves more available. Convenience, variety, and just you got to know what you're offering too as well to make us even want to come there. You know, also concessions by the government would obviously help as well, but you know, got to put yourself out there and let the people know what you have, what you don't have. Like Maya said, what you're going through as well. Never know, might help.
I agree. I'll say this much as it relates to business. Yeah, I think we be honest with your consumers. You never know who might be able to support you in what way. As far as the focus with our guest today, Tiffany, I just want to tell people have an open mind. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of men don't have an open mind when it comes to yoga, but have an open mind and let's figure out ways that we can contribute to ensuring programs like this continue to exist to help those. You know, we've reported this week we've lost 2 young men. One murdered last weekend, the other allegedly the murderer. So we need to find ways to help our young men at times of their most vulnerable years. All right, let's go to the giveaway before we do the daily inspiration and let you all go for the day. All right, this is for a deck of Bermuda trivia cards, and my goodness, it has been selling. So if you don't have yours yet, folks, you better get out there and get them. Here we go. Who's it gonna be, Phil? Who's it gonna be?
I think it's gonna be a regular.
Let's see. Here we go. Nicole Walker.
Definitely a regular.
All right. So you've got yourself a deck of Bermuda trivia cards. You know what to do. Nicole, send us an email, engage@thedailyhour.com. Congratulations to you.
Has Nicole won before?
Oh, she's won a couple things before. Yeah.
Thought I saw her name come up.
She's a winner. What you got for daily inspiration for us, Phil? Anything?
Yeah, man. Daily inspiration. There are 3 ways to ultimate success. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. The third way is to be kind. And that's from Mr. Rogers. Remember Mr. Rogers?
Yeah. Didn't they make a movie of him? Tom Hanks?
They did, yep.
Yeah. I like that because I think it goes in here with today's conversation, especially, you know.
I try to make these, relevant.
Yeah. All right, folks, thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Tuesday. All right, there's a holiday Monday on Tuesday. He's Philip Trout, I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, make it a safe and great weekend. Safe and great weekend.
Emphasis on safe.
We're out. Peace.